You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. We have all heard that saying, but what does it mean to teachers? What good is it to have the best technology and the latest teaching strategy if the student doesn't want to learn? Getting a student that doesn't want to learn the material can be like fighting the dark side in Star Wars. What is worse is if the student's only reason to learn is to get a better grade, which is what my group and I discovered when we interviewed undergraduate students. While most have told us what influenced their motivation, 2 stated that they do not feel motivated. One in particular stated that, "I don't recall being motivated to learn in school. Most of the motivation came from wanting a good grade." If the student is doing this, then the student has no reason to remember the material for later on in life. This is why, as teachers, we need to know how to motivate our students to want to learn and have a curious mind. So we asked 12 teachers, how do you motivate your students to want to learn and have a curious mind? Our group asked this question to 12 teachers, and 2 responded back with a reward system. What is a reward system? A reward system is when every time you complete a task or show an appropriate behavior, you receive an object or an action you want for a reward. It's kind of like Pavlov's famous experiment. Every time the bell rings, the dog received a treat. This continued until the dog associated with the ringing of a bell as treat time. So for students, every time they completed a task or learned a new skill, they would receive some type of reward. Some researchers believe that a reward system can in fact decrease the student's desire to learn, and some of them even consider it as a form of bribery. Now this seems a little extreme to me, because for me, when I went to school, when I learned a new skill or got rewarded for it, I felt good and wanted to learn more. So which way is right? It seems as though both sides have good points. While it seems as though we've reached a fork in the road, there is in fact other ways to increase student motivation. Also, like I stated before, only 2 teachers responded back stating a reward system worked for creating a desire to learn in their students. So what did the rest of the teachers say? An overwhelming amount of teachers that we interviewed responded back stating that they tried to engage their students, with a whopping 10 out of 12 teachers and 12 out of 12 students stating that by engaging the students became more motivated to learn. By providing interesting activities and showing that they love to learn too, have helped create a motivation to learn in their students. One teacher stated that it cannot be underestimated how important it is for the teacher to present the same excitement for exploration and learning as he expects from the students, a feeling that he can and wants to learn along with them. In other words, if you want your student to be motivated to learn, then you yourself have to have the desire to learn too. Monkey see, monkey do. And research agrees with this statement. Heather Fisher of Kappa Delta Pi states that teachers should be motivators in order to motivate their students. This statement may seem redundant, but it is true. If you are not excited about learning, how can you expect the students to be excited? Fortunately, the teachers that we interviewed had plenty of ideas, and the students were able to recall many instances where they felt motivated to learn.
I know in first grade, whenever we'd have like a reading time on the carpet, and usually she tried to get different people to read the book. She usually picked really good ones that we know that were probably going to be like really exciting or that we already knew about. But she tried to get them to try to read the book, so we knew that whatever she was going to pick was going to be good. So everybody usually tried to be the one to read it, and so if you wanted to be the one to read it, you actually got practice time reading out loud and practicing your words, so which was a really good thing.
From field trips to guest speakers, as long as you make the subject matter interesting, then the student will be engaged. So instead of trying to get your student to take a sip of the lesson, When the student is motivated, they will dive on it.